Today in the Smart Wood Shop, I'm going to show you how I make my own dominoes, and I'll give you a few examples of why I might want to do that. But first, a word from our sponsor. I'm Ron Polk, and this is the Smart Wood Shop. If you want to get a detailed set of plans to build a smart wood shop for yourself, or one of the 3 Polk Smart Benches, or any of the accessories, all of which work with any of the 3 benches, including the router table, the cradle, the crosscut, and the smart cart. You'll find a link in the description of this video down below where you can go and purchase any of the plans individually or various packages depending on what your needs are. Once you purchase it, you'll get an email with a link. You click on that link and you can download the plans 24/7, 365. In my home building and remodeling and the projects I do, I am a heavy domino user. And a domino is a floating tenon. There's occasions where I want to make my own. One of them is for decorative reasons. I'll show you in another video how I can take a material like walnut and make dominoes and then cut the joint all the way through so you can see the end, and so you get that contrast, get a decorative joint very quickly. Another reason to make your own domino is if you're doing exterior work. These ones made from beech are for interior work, finish work inside, but you might work on a deck, you might be working on deck stairs or deck rail, and you need a fastener, a domino that will hold up to the weather. So you can choose materials like teak or exterior materials, even treated wood. In fact, you can make your own out of that. And that is probably more of a reason I would make my dominoes than the decorative. I really like decorative, I just don't do that often. But that's what I'm going to show you today. I happen to have some chunks of walnut left over from a project, and I'm going to go through and make a domino like this. Now this isn't cut to length. In fact, I usually, when I make them, I leave them longer and cut them as I need them, because it can vary from project to project what length of domino I want. They're quick and easy to make, and I only need 2 tools, my table saw and my router table. Set up my fence by just taking the domino that I'm trying to match here and push the fence up until the domino is right close to the tooth. Now, if I wanted to try to make it in one pass, I could just get it so that it skims and just starts to roll the blade. But what I prefer to do is be just a little bit wide and then do a second pass, at least on the first piece that I'm going to cut here. So I've got it really close, and I'm going to lock it down. After I make the first pass, I'll check it with the domino and see how close I am. Sometimes I'll even use a digital caliper to be very precise. And then I'll adjust the fence if I need to take it a little bit more off. But once that's done and I have it set up exactly where I want it, then what I want to do is go ahead and cut as much stock to that width as necessary to make as many dominoes. And I always like to cut a little bit of extra. If I'm going to make them, I might as well make some extras and keep them in back stock. Now I want to set it up for the 8mm cut. Just as before, I can move the fence in until the domino just touches, or make it a little bit wide and do that second pass. Better to sneak up on it and get it just right, because if you go too far, then you sort of have to start over with a new piece of material. For checking the thickness, I always have a piece of material that I'll take the domino with the proper cutter, in this case the 8mm cutter, and I'll make a cut, and it goes all the way through, so that as I finish it up after I run it through the router table, I can really check and make sure that I got it just right. But all I have to do here, since it won't fit in because the edges aren't round over, I can still fit it in this way just to make sure that I got the thickness right. After I get all of my material cut to the proper dimension, it's time to head over to the router table. An 1/8" roundover bit seems to be perfect to make these roundovers for the dominoes. I already have one chucked in, and all of my 1/8 inch roundover bits, in fact all of my roundover bits, have a bearing on it. They're designed so that you can use them in a handheld router and follow right along your edge. So when I set up my fence, it's pretty straightforward. I just will move my fence in and use a straight edge so that I'm just touching that bearing, so I've got the right spacing. I don't have to figure that out. And then for setting the height, I do it by eye. Of course, I have a lift, so it's pretty easy for me to just micro move, but I want the bottom edge of the cut right on the surface. One of the things I did not mention when I was at the table saw is when I'm setting up to make that first cut, I actually have a piece of scrap. I'll usually have some 2x material, and I will make the cut and then check it and get that dialed in just right. And then when I do the second cut, I'll do the same thing. And then when I come over and set up my router bit, I will actually run that scrap stock through first, do all 4 edges, check it, and make sure that it fits in my sample mortise. My bit is set up. I've already made a piece with it, so I know it's exactly right. And all I have to do is pass each piece through 4 times. That's how quick and easy it is to make your own dominoes. In another video, I'm going to show you how I use these beautiful walnut dominoes to make a strong, quick, decorative joint. So if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, if you've learned anything from this video and you'd like to encourage me to make more, then take a millisecond and hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for dropping into the Smart Wood Shop. Now it's time to make some sawdust.